Video game bosses traditionally have a certain flow to them, giving you space and time, but when I played Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, I quickly realized its boss fights require absolute focus. You lock in, or you pay with your life. It became that simple. There was no leaning back in my chair for relaxation, because Sekiro's mechanics pushed me to adapt and rise to a whole new level of challenges. Conquering the Blazing Bull. The game was tough, but I was able to push forward until I made it to an enemy camp. Hidden away, the bull bursts onto the scene, charging at me with relentless fury, and flames around his head put me into a state of panic. Evasive dodging, attacking, jumping, nothing was working. Each attempt ended the same way in my defeat, and I was spent. It was my friend who'd been watching my awful attempts casually mentioned to me, "You know you can parry those attacks, right? They're not red unblockables." Y'all, I paused the game and I just sat in silence. How could I have missed this? The sheer presence and fiery rage of the beast had blinded me to the basic mechanics of the game. With renewed focus, I unpaused the game and approached the beast. Just 2 tries later, I won the battle. Don't let the spectacles distract you from the fundamentals. Stay calm under pressure. Mastering the dance of battle. Lady Butterfly hits you with a flurry of attacks and defies gravity with her graceful yet deadly moves. She even summons minions. During her fight, I discovered the rhythm. You see, in this game you give respect to the bosses, but don't give them too much time to breathe. This isn't a classic Legend of Zelda, where you can take your time. When she stops attacking, that's your cue. Take advantage of the dead air and strike. Keep up the pressure. Don't let her regain control of the dance, or you'll pay for it, like I did. She didn't give me that much trouble in the end. The key was persistence and recognizing her patterns. Remember, every boss has a rhythm. Learn it, and you'll win. Mental gymnastics. Genichiro Ashina. This opponent armed with a bow has a burst of attacks that can quickly fill up your posture bar if you're not prepared. I parried, blocked his arrows, dodged his attacks, and jumped over his red strike. But I wasn't always fast enough. I still found myself dying repeatedly to his strikes. Jumping on his head would chain a little damage, but I needed more. Hours passed and frustration mounted. Then in a moment of clarity, I remembered a crucial technique, the counter to his red deadly strikes. It was a new move I had learned but had forgotten in the heat of battle. But there's a catch, y'all. It required me to dodge into his attack. A counterintuitive maneuver that went against my instincts, which is probably why I forgot it. With dodging usually meaning, getting out of danger, here it meant counteracting the danger. Unlearning this old habit and embracing this new approach was challenging, but it paid off. With precise execution, I managed to turn the tide of the battle and emerge victorious. I was even able to beat his second phase on my first try. Surviving the Guardian. Guardian Ape. This savage beast combines attributes from previous bosses, constantly charging, leaping, and special ranged attacks. With a mix of regular and unblockable red moves, he'll even pick you up and throw you across the arena. So I had to use the environment to my advantage, to survive. I found that patience was key to him, which kept this battle shorter than others. But what makes the Guardian Ape truly special is that when you defeat him, he just gets right back up. Yes, he can die twice, just like the wolf. His second phase can feel daunting with his new shriek and diving assault from above. But just pace yourself. After defeating this formidable foe, you progress through some levels. But just when you think you've caught a break, the game throws another curveball at you. You're suddenly in battle against the dead Guardian Ape, now revived, and another ape at the same time. Because apparently he can die 3 times? I lost count of my deaths to this brutal duo. Each defeat felt like a blow to my confidence, but I refused to back down. In the end, after countless attempts, I persevered and emerged winner. It's a testament to the unforgiving nature of the game, always demanding more from the player. The ultimate test. Genichiro and Ishin the Sword Saint are Sekiro's final boss. The stakes are higher than ever. facing what feels like 4 different bosses rolled into one. This first phase was tough. I struggled to find my rhythm, and I realized I was showing him way too much respect. I needed to be bold and seize the moments of stillness in the fight. The true test begins in the second phase, with 3 health bars. Each transition unleashes a barrage of new attacks, including devastating AoE strikes that sometimes may be delayed. He pulls out a freaking gun and slashes you with lightning attacks. This battle pushed me to the edge and beyond. The lightning attacks proved the most daunting challenge. I failed countless times, y'all. This battle even followed me into the next day. But then in a moment of desperation, I ran and dodged under the lightning attack like a madman. Each attempt, each failure was a lesson in courage and determination. Timing my movements just right, I succeeded. Envisioning my victory each attempt before winning, it transformed me. I confronted Ishin with my resolve, and in doing so, awakened a strength deep inside. A journey through difficult games. Before I tackled Sekiro, one of the most challenging games I ever played was Fury, a unique blend of hack and slash and bullet hell, where every opponent is a boss. This combination made adapting to its difficulty a true test to my skills. Next came Sifu. Kuroki's ranged attacks pushed me to the limit in a melee-focused game, but it was Yang who proved my timing and reflexes. And who could forget the Valkyries from 2018's God of War? These warriors required mastery of pacing to stand a chance. I managed to defeat only 3 before I decided to walk away. What all these games have in common is real effort and strategic thinking is required from the player to progress. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice felt like the culmination of all the challenge I had faced in these previous games. Well, minus Fury's bullet hell. But they pushed me to rise above, and as I battled through each confrontation, I realized something. To succeed, I needed to humble myself and be open to learning from the bosses themselves. It was a huge shift in my mindset. But just when I thought I had mastered this approach, I met the final boss, Ishin. Unlike anything I had faced before, demanding every ounce of my skill and courage I had. Even with everything I had learned, victory felt out of reach. Still, I refused to give up. Reflecting on these experiences taught me, button mashing won't always cut it. Sometimes it requires mental discipline, personal growth, and overcoming oneself. Star Wars Jedi Survivor implements many things from Sekiro with a heavier emphasis on story, but choice when it comes to difficulty. I made a video on it. You should check it out. Did any bosses in Sekiro reshape your gaming habits? And do any other games come to mind? If so, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And as always, take care.